A new era dawns in the Star Wars universe as writer Cavan Scott and artist Ario Anindito bring us a tale of the High Republic. Set during a time of peace, the High Republic sees the noble Jedi Knights and the Republic set to launch the Starlight beacon into the Outer Rim. But out of the darkness, something sinister stirs, and now the Guardians of Peace and Justice must face this threat to themselves, the galaxy, and even the Force. One of the High Republic's chief architects, Cavan Scott, delivers a fantastic opening act to the new era, introducing some cool new characters, planets, and species. I enjoyed getting to know Kreeve Trannis. She's an interesting main character, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching her go through her Jedi Trials. I enjoyed that she isn't some reckless, headstrong Jedi like I feel we've gotten quite a few of, like Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano. Scott isn't trying to ape what came before, but forging a new path for the character and the Jedi overall. She's respectful of her master's teachings and will help in a way that she thinks is best suited for the situation, as proved with her helping the little imp aliens of the planet. Her master Skier, who is first introduced in the Light of the Jedi novel, which is set before this issue, was great as well, and it was fantastic that after reading that novel, I got to see the character physically and follow his story, which continues building towards his seemingly inevitable fall to the dark side. Like many Star Wars comics, this issue is filled with world building, and like the other High Republic material I've read so far and seen, it does a fantastic job selling the new era, showcasing familiar things like races like Trandoshans and Wookiees, while also new things like space locusts and cool new designs for things like Jedi robes and lightsabers and ships, something I'll dive into shortly when I talk about the art. The one thing that stands out to me though is just how completely different the Jedi are compared to the prequel era. Unlike the arrogant, conservative, and sterile nature of the prequel Jedi, the High Republic Jedi seem a little bit more laid back. The Masters don't seem so hard-nosed, and there isn't this arrogant, holier-than-thou attitude with them, specifically with the members of the Jedi Council, which we see here, which funnily enough includes Yoda as well. These Jedi want to help people and work hand in hand with the Republic for the betterment of the galaxy, and these are the types of Jedi that people can and should look up to, and the Jedi of legend that many who never saw or experienced them think they were when they hear them mentioned. Artist Ario Anindito delivers some fantastic, bright and colourful art that perfectly captures a galaxy at peace, where everything is seemingly safe and our characters have a bright future ahead of them. I absolutely loved all of his designs as well as his take on the overall High Republic design. The Jedi Tunics are probably my favourite, and I enjoy how each character has their own unique outfit that mirrors their attitudes, but also has a quote-unquote official set of robes that look to be used for special ceremonies like seen in this issue with the dedication of Starlight Beacon. It's a far cry from what we see in the very sterile and plain outfits of the prequel era, again showing just how different each era is. The lightsabers are also really nice looking, harkening back to the ancient sword design, the saber we've seen in Kylo Ren's sword design, as well as stuff we've seen in Rebels. Here it's sort of like an upgrade from that, where instead of actual blades they have hand guards, which look really good on the weapon. I also enjoy that, much like Ralph McQuarrie's original art and how they were seen in Rebels, the lightsabers have the slender, kind of pointy look to them, like they actually look like sword blades. It's a design aesthetic I have always loved, and to see it again makes me so damn happy. Ario's art also benefits from Annalisa Leone's brilliant colours, which make his art just pop so well. It's nice and colourful, especially near the end of the book when we get onto the beacon and everything is bathed in this nice warm and yellow and white light, adding to this already great aesthetic of a beacon that is out in the darkness to guide people across the galaxy. Star Wars High Republic Issue 1 was a fantastic first visual look into the new era of Star Wars. Cavan Scott delivered an exciting action-packed first look at some of the new heroes of this era, as well as exploring this until now seen part of Jedi lore, and how these Jedi are completely different from any other era we've seen so far. I'm excited for the continuation of Kreeve Trannis' story, as well as her master's descent into darkness over the 5 remaining issues, as well as wherever else they may appear, be it in other comics or novels or even live action. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Star Wars The High Republic Issue 1 heads to Shraden, where Jedi Padawan Kreeve Trannis meets the impy Kenry, who follows after the Padawan, annoying the young woman as she tries to concentrate, telling the being to leave as she is attacked by Jedi Master Skier, who notes the woman is distracted and open for an attack. The two battle one another across the plains until Kreeve force pushes the Master into a tree, ending the battle. The woman jokingly asks her Master if she should listen to the little imp and cut off his other arm. Skier says she needs to work on her lateral sweep as his Padawan helps her Master up, apologizing about the tree, wondering what exactly they are there for since he should be recuperating after his accident and she needs to prepare for her Jedi Trials, unless Skier thinks that she is ready. Skier hopes that she's finished since he wants to tell her about being knighted, and when it comes to her trials, she will need to climb the Needles, a group of high spires nearby that have stood for over a millennia, and in that time many people have tried to climb them but failed. Skier says that he hung a Tithorian pendant at the top of one of the peaks and she is to choose one of the needles and climb. Kreeve is intimidated by the size of the spires but tells her Master that when he asks if she is scared, that there is no fear, there is only certainty. Skier says that a Jedi does more than just parrot ancient lore. A Jedi acts, so Kreeve takes up the trial, climbing the spires. Suddenly her spire breaks open, forcing her to use her lightsaber to prevent her fall. Kenry continues to talk to the woman who says that she needs to focus, so the small alien says he will be quiet. Kenry, however, continues to talk, pointing out his nearby city. One of Kenry's brethren soon comes by, and the two aliens continue to prattle on with one another, annoying Kreeve even more. Soon she begins hearing a buzzing noise as suddenly a huge horde of giant bugs smash through the spires, knocking Kreeve off the needle. On the Starlight beacon, Master Avar Kriss doesn't understand how Maru doesn't know where Master Skier is, since he knows everything. Maru says that they are about 9 hours from the dedication of the beacon, which is still without a marshal, and he is currently organizing the arrival of hundreds of Republic delegates, testing the beacon that will be heard throughout the galaxy, and coordinating the care of millions following the great disaster, so he can't be expected to track every Jedi Master who goes off station. Kriss knows that it's killing the being that he doesn't know something, and Maru hoped it would not be that obvious. Kriss says that she just worried about Skier since he's not been the same since the Nihil attack on Kerr, and it's not because he lost his arm, since that will grow back since he's a Trandoshan. Maru thinks that Skier blames himself for the death of Master Mali, but Kriss knows that that's not it as well, since she can feel him holding something back. Soon Grandmasters Veta and Yoda arrive, revealing that they have a meeting with the Chancellor to discuss back to manufacturing for their relief effort. Kriss wonders if this means that Yoda is back on the Council full time, but the Master says that he's not finished on the Star Hopper yet, and must walk a different path the Force leads him down. Veta wants to discuss Kriss's path as they wish to offer her the role of the Beacon Marshal. Kreeve meanwhile avoids death from the giant bugs, which descend on Kanry's city. The Padawan rushes back to her Vector, using it to get closer to the bugs as she uses the Force to rescue a group of the little imps. She contacts the Starlight Beacon and Maru, telling him of the bugs that are ravaging the planet. Maru doesn't think the giant bugs should be on the planet, looking up the creature database and learning that they could be the Redati, a migrating species of space locusts that should be avoiding inhabited worlds. Keen faces down one of the bugs with her lightsaber, knowing that they aren't avoiding them now since something has changed. Maru thinks that she should ask them, so the Padawan connects to the beings through the Force, seeing the locust moving from one side of the galaxy to the other, but this time heading directly towards the beacon. Kreeve races back to her ship, asking Maru if he knows how the bugs navigate, finding they follow the magnetic pulse of a star in the next system. Kreeve knows that this makes sense since they heard a pulse for thousands of years until something, the beacon, interfered with that, meaning the beacon has thrown them off course and they are headed straight for it. Kreeve blasts off, knowing that it's their fault and it's up to them to get the bugs back on track. The Redati soon give chase after Kreeve, who is glad as Maru has rigged the fighter to replicate the beacon's signal so she can lead the bugs away from the planet while Maru moves the beacon to a new frequency that won't interfere with the Redati. Kenry wonders what they'll do now since the bugs are now following them and he hasn't been off the planet ever. Kreeve, however, ejects both of them from the ship, leaving it on autopilot as it speeds into the atmosphere and into deep space. She reassures her new friend that the Jedi won't be mad she lost her ship, since vectors are easy to come by. Kreeve returns to the Imp City, using the Force to help rebuild it as Master Skier comes to see her, wondering where their ship is. Kreeve says that it's somewhere in space, hoping that he isn't mad, but the Master contacts the beacon, asking for a transport back up to the station. Kenry wonders if she's in trouble, but the Padawan doesn't know, since she's never seen her Master like this before. The Jedi return to the station, and Kreeve continues to try and explain what happened on the planet to her Master, heading through the station where they are met by Master Chris, which surprises Kreeve, so much so that she swears in front of the Master, having heard of all of the legends about her. Ski reveals that Chris is now the Marshal of Starlight, so Kreeve tries to explain to her why she did what she did on the planet. Chris hopes that she's finished, igniting her green lightsaber, and by the right of the Council, knights Kreeve Trannis, cutting off her Padawan braid and promoting her to the role of Jedi Knight. Later on, the Starlight Beacon dedication ceremony gets underway, and Master Chris delivers her speech, saying that the beacon is a symbol of hope, not just for the pioneers of the frontier, but for all those who wish to join the Republic every day. She tells the gathered people to know whenever they are alone and feel the darkness closing in on them, the Force is with them, and so are the Jedi. She proclaims the Jedi and the beacon are the light and life as the teary-eyed Kreeve joins her fellow knights in raising their sabers for the Republic. Later, after the celebrations, Skier returns to his quarters, screaming in anger at being passed over for the role of Marshal.